What a game we have in store later today at Pittodrie as European chasing Aberdeen take on third place Hearts. Kick-off at the Old Stadium is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Here are your other fixtures for today. Celtic taking on Hibs, Dundee United hosting St Mirren, Kilmarnock are at home to St Johnstone, Livingston take on Ross County, and the early kick-off is at Fir Park between Motherwell and Rangers. So there are permutations for today. Here is the mid-table only. So, a win today, coupled with Hibs losing against Celtic, means we could go fourth and then only 4 points behind Hearts. So much is riding on today's game. Good morning, how you doing? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV here on YouTube this Saturday morning. If you're watching for the first time, how you doing? Welcome aboard. So today is all about looking forward to the Hearts game, but not just that, we've got a bit of an extended show today. So I'm delighted to welcome to the show two Gothenburg legends. So John McMaster will be here very shortly to talk about his brand new book, McMaster and Commander. And Eric Black is here as well to do the quick fire question and answer session, which, trust me, was a lot of fun. And there was a couple of cheeky answers in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to bringing that to you a little bit later. So, as always, it's open to the floor for you guys to have your say about how you think the Dons will get on today against Hearts at Pittodrie. So, if you haven't commented before and you want to get involved, underneath the video on YouTube is the comment section. Just leave your comment there. All I ask is that you don't use bad language and you are very respectful to others who also comment. I've said it before and I'll say it again. What I'm hoping that this channel will be is a safe haven for fans to come and leave their comments without fear of some numpty coming on and giving them dog's abuse for having an opinion like you see on so many other social media channels. So I don't want that. I want this place to be a safe haven and a respectful place as well for all Aberdeen fans. So if you want to join in, absolutely do. And of course, interact with yourselves as well. That's the beauty of the channel. So we've got 5 games left to the split. And oh my goodness, the European places are there to be taken. So Hearts, obviously, today. Then we go to St Johnstone. Then we're at home to Kilmarnock, away to Ross County. And then we finish our campaign before the split at home against Rangers. So there are, in my opinion, 5 winnable games there. Hearts are coming into this, obviously, on the back of 2 defeats against Celtic where they shipped 6 goals and only scored 1. So I think Hearts are absolutely there for the taking. I've got a quote from Barry Robson, which I'll bring to you in just a moment, about how he's approaching today's game. But I think if we have the same type of winning mentality that we showed against Dundee United after they equalised, I'm quietly confident that we can beat Hearts today and then really start putting pressure on them for third place. Who would have thought that a few weeks ago? So yeah, can't wait for today's game. So let me bring you what I think will be today's starting lineup and let me know what you think. I think Barry will basically go with the same team that started against Dundee United. The only thing I might change, if you were to put a gun to my head, maybe Liam Scales at left back or Hayden Coulson at left back. But I think Jack performed admirably after he made an early mistake against Dundee United. That's why I think he will retain his place. So that's roughly what I think the team will be today. So as promised, here is Barry's quote. We need to go and try and catch them. We need to try and get as close to them as we possibly can and perform at our best levels. That's what we need to try and do. He went on to say, what we need to do is go out there and try our best to make sure that we perform to our best levels. That gives you a better chance of winning a football match. So those are the thoughts of Barry Robson. Right, let's get to John McMaster. Now, just bear with me while I just drag John in for you. So let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that because you've seen it all. And I will just drag John in. Where is he? John McMaster. There we are. Right, John is now in the system and ready to go. So I caught up with him yesterday. He's got a brand new book coming out called McMaster and Commander, which is part autobiographical, and it's also very much aimed at the business market as well, because what he's done is he's used his relationship with Sir Alex and Sir Alex's management style and working ethos to sort of bring across how it's so important in business, basically how you conduct yourselves, how you inspire people and all that sort of stuff. So no doubt it's going to be an absolutely fascinating read. So I spoke to him yesterday from his home to discuss the brand new book. Here's John McMaster, Gothenburg legend. Mr. McMaster, how are you? Lovely to see you. Good morning. You all right?
I'm great, Ali. Everything's buzzing.
Good man. Good. I bet you are. So the new book, first and foremost, tell us, when is it out and where can we get it?
The publishers have got it online at the moment. You can. We're going to have a soft publish on the 6th of April, hopefully at one of the sponsors in Glasgow, and then we'll do it up in Aberdeen. But we have been booked in with the Aberdeen Football Club. I was up seeing Rob Wick and Rob and Malcolm Panton, the marketing and the media guys there. They've offered us a great deal with doing the book in the first game of August next year.
Oh, great.
Which is great. It's going to be Friday, Saturday for the book. And then Rob more or less says to us, he says, well, what are you doing the Thursday night? Why don't you do a dinner on the Thursday night at the Dick Donald Lounge?
Yeah.
And that's magnificent. Everything that I asked, I never even had to ask them. They were great with it, you know.
Fantastic.
So
great to know.
It does really, really well. But we've got a Highland tour as well.
Yeah, I saw that. You're looking for that. It'll be brilliant. Going out on tour. Mate, that's proper rock and roll.
It's going to be good because it takes me back to my Peterhead days.
Yeah.
And it was accidentally, I went up to Peterhead to see Martin Johnson when Martin was still working there as a general manager.
Yeah.
And he suggested a tour of the Highlands. And I says, I just wanted it. Aberdeen, Morton and Peterhead were the 3 clubs I played for, Ali. So obviously I've got to go along and see them all and want a wee launch there as well, because I've got good memories of Peterhead and the three clubs. But they were brilliant and they've done more than what they should have. But if it wasn't for Peterhead, I might not be here talking to you.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a game of football. Pittodrie at that time, Jimmy Bonesthrone, just says to me, says, John, me and Teddy's the wee look at you. You've been working hard all week in training. Can't get you into the reserves at the moment. We're going to farm you out of Peterhead. And I says to myself, no, I says to the boss, says, where the F's Peterhead, boss? He says, another 28 miles further north, John. Back. I says, that'll do me. So, and it was the best thing I ever done. It was the best thing I ever done because I trained with the club Monday to Friday. It picked up the team that brought me on board as well. The boys were magnificent. The whole place at Peterhead was great. And Robbie Warrender, the chairman, was fantastic because he gives an extra £5 every week.
Ah.
So then a £5 was kind of 50 quid.
Yeah, it's a great club. It's a great wee club. Still is. Right, let's talk about the book. So where did the idea for the concept of the book come from?
It was the boys. It was Robin McCausland. We all sat down and talked about. I took my 2 colleagues, Robin and Neil Martin, up to Aberdeen. They had a business and they were doing leadership stuff in the universities. And I started telling them some funny stories about Aberdeen and Sir Alex. And this is better than stories. This is gold dust for us when we see what's happening. It says this happens in everyday work and business. And we married it together, and ever since, that's about 5-6 years ago. And then all of a sudden, we got this leadership courses and all that going with Maersk. And we met up with David Christie, the other member of the business that we're in. And he loved it as well. So one thing led to another, and we were up at Merse for about more or less a year solid, every second week or every third week, just addressing teams and talking about people, how you can handle awkward people and whatever, So it belonged in business, and that's how we came about it.
Yeah. You see, I think it's really interesting, John, to make sure that people fully understand that this, even though it's sort of part autobiography, and obviously you're telling stories about your time as a professional football player, but there is the book is predominantly the business twist, and that's what you're trying to sell here, the business side of it, to get into that community, right?
It's something that I struggled with to start with. That once Neil and Robin and David, started, the more and more that you done it, the more things that he says, that's what goes with that. They aligned things there when they were doing it. We were up in the rigs as well in Invergordon, and we'd done 3 shifts, and they loved it. And there was a couple of females turning around and says, I was expecting the usual football stories, he says, but this has been really good. This opens up what else as well. But the book is all about my upbringing, and it's heavy on Sir Alex because he played a major part in my whole career. And then it's about the business of winning, which the boys all talk about, and they're so proud of it. The 4 A's, we're getting a lot of good reports on the book, and the publishers love it. Morgan and Lawrence, Matthew Mann and Barry Pierpoint, they're loving it, and we're meeting up on Tuesday and collecting the books on Tuesday.
Oh, brilliant!
But it came from Neil Drysdale, the P&J.
Yeah, so he came up with the name, right?
He came on my Twitter and said, when he's doing a book, he says, well, we have started a book. He says, what's the title? And he says to Robin, he says, McMaster and Commanders are good.
Yeah. Great name. That's a great name. Brilliant. It's genius. Honestly, it's genius, I think.
So that was through Neil. And Neil's been great ever since. And just like yourself, Ali, if it had fell in your lap, you'd have probably thought about it as well. But it's also the business of winning is involved in it as well. And it is about business because it marries in. It marries in with the sport. Football doesn't get that recognition from businesses. If you know, I've been and seen a lot of people, and they all know me, and I go around with my strips and my memorabilia, and I do go up there and here and everywhere. But some of them, when you show them the medals, wow, you got to see their faces, Ali. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
and I'm going to continue to do that. So anybody that's wanting a gig, give me a shout and I'll go.
Sorry, John, just out of interest, because I know that obviously Sir Alex plays a huge part in the book. Did he actually contribute to the book?
No, he didn't. He says it was a bit of a clash with the book he had done the year before.
Okay, understood.
Jason had actually says to us, he says, my dad's not comfortable with it. He says, but I says, that's fine. He says, if he feels there's a wee bit of something that's not working together with it, that's fine.
Okay.
But listen, nothing's happened, it's just that we've just got to deal with what we've got then, and we get Graham Hunter to do the forward, and he was magnificent, to be honest with you. And he's a mad dandy don like yourself, He's a
great guy, great guy.
So if I could have got you as well, and I could have got all the rest of the guys at Celtics towards it, but you can't get everybody, Ali.
Of course not.
It's Graham's there, but it's a hard man to get hold of.
John, what's your hopes for the book?
Oh, I hope it reaches everybody. I think it's about family. I think it's about ambition. I think it's about caring, and also it's big in business. Totally big in business, which now I can see a lot of. I wasn't comfortable to start with, but I am very comfortable when I go and do these things, because a lot of people say, why don't you do after dinner? I says, no, I prefer this because you're learning off it. It belongs. I've been in a few schools already with kids, and I'm going to do another couple of schools in Aberdeen as well. So I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, you should be.
Came along, and but the biggest part of it all is the caring side that Sir Alex showed me, and that's right through it, and how he looked after not just me, everybody was in the same position as me. And when he needed us and when we needed him, he was always there, him and Archie and Teddy. What a team. What
Brilliant.
a team.
John, it's been absolutely fantastic as always getting you on. Thank you, and the very best of luck with the book. I'm sure it will be a huge success, and the best of luck with the tour as well, because that will be a lot of fun. So let's get you on again halfway through the tour, and let's see how it's going.
Brilliant, Ali. I'd appreciate that, and I'll send you some dates, and you can maybe promote that for us.
Absolutely, no problem at all. John, it's great to see you. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Right, smashing.
Bye, mate.
Thanks, Ali.
Bye. So John is going out on tour. So 2 Stars, in association with the Northern Lights, present an audience with John McMaster. So he's basically going to go all over the country. Here are some dates for you. So next, in May, he's going to be at Balmoor Stadium in Peterhead. He moves over to Elgin, then up to Fraserburgh. He's going across to Inverness, Dufftown, the New Inn Hotel in Ellen. Ah, yes, the New Inn had a couple of good nights in there once or twice back in the day. And then into June, he's going to be in Grantown on Spey. He's also going to be in Rothes and Inverurie. And there's plenty of other dates there. So if you want to go along and hear all the stories, John will be available. And I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely brilliant book. So thank you, John, for coming on. Okay, a couple more bits about today's game, because everyone is looking forward to that. Here's the match stats. So Aberdeen have won each of their last 6 home league games against Hearts, scoring 2 or more goals in each game. Bojan Majowski has scored more home goals in this season's Scottish Premiership than any other player. He's got 14. He's got 15 in total. Hearts have lost their last 2 away league games at Motherwell and Celtic. Don't forget they also got absolutely smashed in the Cup. And they have not lost 3 on the bounce in the league since December 2021. Today's referee is David Dickinson. On VAR is Don Robertson. If you're going to the game, make sure you pick up one of these. What a beauty that is from Dolly Digital. That's the front cover of today's match day programme to obviously honour the 40th anniversary of us beating Bayern Munich 40 years ago on Thursday night. By the way, thank you so much for all your support with that show. It's doing really well on YouTube. It's had really good traction, and I'm delighted that so many of you enjoyed the show. If you haven't seen it, it's on the channel. You'll be able to see it. It's under the live section. So we'll get to Eric Black in just a moment, but I think it's about time we opened it up to you guys and see what you're all saying this morning. Okay, so Ewan Grant has said no football for 2 weeks. Rumours of a managerial candidate in the stands. A huge 3 points up for grabs at home. Mon the Dons. Today is a big one. 2-0 please. A Duke double. Gregor Stevens has said, good morning. We will miss today's game because of my son's boys club game, hoping for 2 victories. The very best of luck to your boy, Gregor. Fraser Gunn is on the supporters bus on his way to Aberdeen. Massive game. Today will be a big barometer as to how far we have progressed in recent weeks. So Gregor has come on again to say Ricardo Rodriguez in the main stand today. So there's lots of rumours about Ricardo Rodriguez. Some of you have come on and asked me. I genuinely, honestly, I have no idea whether he's going to be in the stands today or not. What I can tell you is that he's a Spanish coach. He's 48 years old. His last club was in the J-League in Japan, Urawa Red Diamonds. He was declared the J-League Manager of the Year in 2021, where he won the Emperor's Cup, and he also won the Japanese Super Cup a year later in 2022. He's got fantastic pedigree. So it remains to be seen whether he will actually be in the stands today. Suze has said good morning. Graham Barron has said good morning. The Mad Ferret has said, come on you Reds, 3 points today please. Kaiser has said fit light to everybody. Ben Rose has said, my gut feeling is the Dons will get a narrow victory. Come on you Reds. Graham Klein has said, going to be there today, hopefully 3 points. Do you feel Stephen Gunn is safe in his role? Yes, I do. Simon Roy. Good morning, Simon. He has said, good morning to everybody. Hopefully the results go our way and we end up in 4th position. Lee Doubles has come on. Hi, Lee. And has said, good morning. Simon Roy came back and said to ask everybody to remember to push the old like button. So if you are enjoying today's show, I'd be very grateful if you would press the like button. It just helps with the old algorithm here on YouTube. And it makes us a wee bit more popular as well. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd be absolutely thrilled if you would please consider subscribing as well. We're edging closer to 2,500 subscribers. It blows my mind. Thank you. Gregor Stevens said Alfie Bavidge left Cormac Park on crutches last night, so he clearly won't be on the bench today. So Graham Barron has come on and said, is it true the new manager will be in the stands today? We don't know, Graham, but there's lots of rumours going about that Rodriguez will be in the stands today. Erica Mitchell has come on to wish everyone a good morning. Bring on the Jambos. Here's hoping for a win. Stand free. Gregor Stevens said only 4 winnable games. I didn't think I said that. I think I said 5 winnable games, didn't I? If I said 4, I beg your pardon. I absolutely meant 5. Sevco are mince. They are. Kaiser has said, I definitely think we've got better players than Hearts. I agree. So in regards to the team lineup and the formation today, Gregor Stevens thinks that it will be 3 at the back today. Scales in for Mackenzie. Yes, that's actually quite an interesting shout. So Liam Scales to the left, then Matty Pollock, then in the middle, McDonald. No, just to the right. Oh no, maybe Matty Pollock will be on the right-hand side. McDonald in the middle. And that would free Ross to get a little bit further forward, which would free up Duke further up front. Yes, that's a very good shout. Grant Stewart has said good morning. Think it will be tight and a good game. Sneaky feeling, home advantage will get it over the line. Feed the Duke. Lee Doubles has come back to say, come on you Reds, get into them. Feeling optimistic today. Important game. It will be tight, but I reckon we've a decent chance. Duke is on fire. He could get a few goals today. Andy M has said, I hope for a back 4, but expect us to match them. 3-5-2, freeing the Duke. Yeah, good shout. So a few of you have commented about John McMaster. Fraser Gunn has said that he will place an order for John's book. What a hero. Michael Taylor has said, I anticipate the match to be very close and tight, but just get the 3 points and get over the line. That's all that matters at this point in the season. Come on, you Reds. Gregor Stevens has said, Spammer. What a player. John McMaster's nickname. The Mad Ferret, McMaster, was a truly class act. He certainly was, and he still is. Billy Wood, it's as good as bought by me, his new book. Great name. Yeah, the name's genius. That came up by Neil Drysdale, Press and Journal journalist. McMaster and Commander. Just brilliant. Gregor Stevens, very engaging personality that John has. He certainly has. He's a great guy, honestly. Suze, a lot of managers, both in business and football, would benefit from this sort of leadership, man management approach. Good luck, John. Could not agree more, Suze. My ex-bosses could have done with reading that book. Meow. Kaiser said, great stuff from John McMaster. Charles Craig has said, Jim, Doug, John, Alec and Willie were all farmed out to junior and Highland League teams. They've all said it gave them a great start to their careers. Yep, there's something in it, I'm telling you. Stick the young lads up to the Highland League. Billy Wood is going for a 3-1 win to the Dons today. George Rutherford has said, has he bought a house in West Hill? I guess you're talking about Rodriguez. David Scott says, come on the dandies. Yeah, right. Lots more comments coming in, which is great. But let's get to Eric Black. So, as you know, over the past few weeks, I've been doing that sort of quick fire round with the guys. We just ask them one very simple question and they can answer it as they see fit. One word answers, or they can just tell a wee story. So I thought it'd be fun to get Eric Black on and do it. So I caught up with him yesterday from his home down south. Here is Eric Black's quick fire questions.
How are you, fella? Good morning. You all right?
Morning, Ali. How are you?
I'm just fine, mate. Delighted to get you on to do the quick fire question and answer session. You ready for this?
I am not necessarily, but I'll do it.
Right, here we go. First question.
Here we go. Yep.
Who suited bleach blonde hair better, Brian Gunn or Neil Cooper?
That is a difficult question to open with, I must admit. I'm going to have to think long and hard about that. I mean, both of them spent gallons and fortunes on it, actually, fortunes on gallons of sunning to ensure it maintained that level of blondness. So, having spent 2 or 3 years sharing a room with Big Ben, I would have to say that I saw thousands of pounds pass through his fingers with sunning. So, he's getting my vote on that one.
Who was better in fives, Archie Knox or Sir Alex Ferguson?
Now, I would have to confess that Sir Alex was probably the best finisher.
Oh,
However, in a
oh,
five-a-side match, Archie's sheer physical presence meant that you could play with more attacking players because he was the goalkeeper and the two centre-backs together, Archie. He filled that role, so I'm going to go with Archie.
okay. You're a braver man than me. Favourite football boot?
Oh, Copa Mundial, Adidas Copa Mundial. It was my favourite of all time. I loved it, absolutely loved it. If I hadn't had that, I mean, I wasn't particularly difficult in terms of what I played with and what I didn't play with, but I must admit those. And I went to France actually, and my sponsor changed to Puma. I got a contract with Puma, and I remember ripping the stripes off and putting. Sorry, I remember putting the stripes off my Adidas ones and putting on a big Puma stripe.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, there was a picture of me in the front of the programme slide tackling somebody with a massive Adidas red sole on it. So sponsors weren't too happy.
It's the best football boot ever made, Copa
Oh,
Mundial.
without doubt.
What a pair of boots. Okay, what was more significant
Yeah.
beating Bayern Munich or beating Real Madrid?
I think when you look back, without doubt, Real Madrid. I mean, I think to have beaten Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals was sensational. It was probably the best, without doubt, atmosphere I ever experienced at Pittodrie. However, I don't think we would be remembered as a group as well if we had only beaten Bayern Munich. So to beat Real Madrid for me was the top, really. That was the best that it could have been.
Yeah. Worst dress sense in the dressing room?
Now that's a hard one, I must admit. I would have to therefore look at some of the older players who were slightly older than me, probably 6-7 years older. It's a hard one, but I'm going to plump for it was a challenge between maybe John McMaster and Jim Leighton. And I can't necessarily remember fully, but I just don't ever remember them looking as sharp as possibly they could. So there's where I'm going with. Apologies,
Okay.
but there's where I'm sitting.
Okay, so who was the most fashionable in the dressing room?
Well, I think that would probably fall between three who were constantly in and out of clothes shops and spending their vastly earned sums of money on it. Was Brian Gunn, Neil Cooper and John Hewitt. Out of those three, I'm going to have to give it to John Hewitt because he was always on the money. He was always spending money and coming in with different shirts, with different jumpers, different trousers. So Johnny's going to win it at that point.
Good lad. Best trainer?
Well, I think it's been said quite a few times that it wasn't El Capitano who was probably the best player ever, or was the best player in my opinion to play for Aberdeen. He was not the best trainer, which surprisingly. Best trainer, I would have to say that is a very, very hard one because we had a lot of decent trainers. I'll give this one to Big Alec. Alec always was enthusiastic about his training and always enthusiastic with the younger players to get them going and whatever else, and was a great example to us. So I'm going to go with Big Alec. Cliche on that.
Okay. Who had the best car? Well,
again, John Hewitt, to be fair, was out there with that. I remember him getting an XR3, which was two-toned at the time, which was impressive vehicle, I would have to say. However, I think there'd be a close tie with Mark McGee, who had a Lancia Delta at the time, which was a little bit out there. And it was a beautiful car, obviously Italian car, but it was a beautiful car. So I'm going to go with Mark McGee's Lancia.
Okay. Your all-time favourite goal scored for Aberdeen?
Again, you could go through what I would have thought would have been the best technical goal or whatever else, but I can't go by the Real Madrid goal. I've got to be honest. It's really hard to bypass that one. To have scored in a European Cup final is pretty special, and I can't think of anything that would surpass that.
Okay. Final question. The most important question you'll probably ever get. Choose your next words very carefully, please. Bad Boys Inc. or the Backstreet Boys?
God, the Bad Boys Inc. I struggle to actually remember any of that, but I've got no chance on that. So, do you know what? I'm going to veer away from that, because I'm going to go for the only boy band that I think that I actually ever liked. And I was 9 years old at the time, and I'm going to go for the Bay City Rollers. So you can forget both of those. I mean, forget both of them, Ali, and just obviously Bay City Rollers surpassed any of those bands.
Davey me. Fella, see you later.
Absolutely, Ali. Cheers, all the best.
They're killing me. They're absolutely killing me. By the way, talking about Bad Boys Inc., cheeky little mention on Coronation Street this week, and on a run of Top of the Pops last night. The legend lives on. Oh, God. By the way, while we're talking about music, so you know that I launched that new YouTube channel called The Accidental Pop Star a couple of weeks back, about 10 days ago. Thank you for all your support with that. It's been received really, really well. So there's interviews on there with Tony Handley, ex-Spandau Ballet frontman, Nick Kershaw, Chesney Hawkes, Lee Murray, who was in a very successful band called Let Loose in the 90s. I've got Lee Brennan from 911 lined up, Richie Neville from Five lined up, and Woody from the Bay City Rollers lined up as well. So it's not just all about boy bands. So if you're not into your boy bands, that's totally irrelevant. This is about really getting to understand what it's like to be in a band, be it a boy band or a normal band, girl band in the music industry. So is having a number one record and being on the front cover of Smash Hits magazine actually everything that it's cracked up to be? So if you're into all of that, if you find it interesting, I'd be very grateful if you would check out the YouTube site. We're on Twitter as well, The Accidental Pop Star. Right. Let's get back to pressing matters and more of your thoughts. David Scott, come on, dandies. Hi, David. Derek Griffiths has wished everybody a good morning. Set the Duke on the Hearts defence and we'll get the 3 points, but need to be solid at the back with Matt and Angus. They've been brilliant the past few games. I completely agree. Kaiser said, Rob Wicks is leaving, I see. Shame, he's done a lot of good things yet. Rob Wicks is on his way to the P&J Live, so the very best of luck to Rob in his new role. Rich Stephen has said, apparently Rodriguez was spotted buying a steak, bacon, Greggs this morning. Unconfirmed reports. Wonder if he had a rowie with that as well. Or a buttery, where I come from. Graham Duncan, Majowski scores first, but lose 3-1. Head prediction, not heart. Oh, Graham. Kaiser has said, I'm really leaning more towards Robson for the manager. So this is where I'm at with Barry Robson. I think a win today, I think he's got an unbelievable chance of potentially getting the role, but I think it's too early for him. What I would like to see is a more experienced manager coming in, somebody with completely fresh ideas. I've said this before, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. Someone who has absolutely no fear of the Glasgow 2, Queen's Park and Partick Thistle. We need someone that just comes in with, it's just totally fresh as far as I'm concerned, but absolutely have Barry beside him and Steve Agnew as well. So I would most definitely make sure that Barry and Steve Agnew have roles within the first team setup if a new manager does come into the club. That's what I would like to see. Rich Stephen has said, if you've not watched the John McMaster interview on the PLZ show with Peter Martin, it's well worth it. He's got his medals on show. Fred McKenzie said, well done, McMaster. Come on, the Dandies, a 2-0 win. Graham Kleiner said he hope it's not Dwight York that's in the stands today. There's absolutely no chance. He's doing his best, isn't he, to be fair to him, to tout himself, but absolutely not a chance. Graham Duncan has said, that'll be a stocking filler for my brother. He'll like it. The Last of Us Goat has said, hey lads, good morning to you. How you doing? Lee Doubles has said, Eric Black was my hero. What a class player. Scored some incredible goals. Was devastated when he went to Metz. What a legend. I agree. I think we were all devastated. Gregor Stevens has said, Neil Lennon is still getting mentioned by Scott Burns, but I don't think there's a cat in hell's chance of him getting the AFC job. Leighton Bremner has said, good morning. I'm very well, thank you, Leighton. I hope you're well too, mate. Stuart Cleary has said, good morning to everybody. Was gutted when Eric left us. What a talent he was too. How good would it be to see Duke get a hat-trick today? Come on, you Reds. I can't read that out, sorry. Billy Wood. Now he would be worth, Eric Black, now he would be worth tens of millions of quid, as he was so ahead of his time as a player. Eric did things that today's players think is new. What a player. And what a great guy as well. Kaiser said the Bay City Rollers played instruments. I know. The Mad Ferret. Oofed. Controversial ending from Eric Black. I was shocked. Honestly, I was shocked. Gregor Stevens. Always butteries. Agree. 100%. Oh, you can set this off now, Gregor. David Gold has said, Chris Harvey alluded to a Norwegian appointment earlier in the week. More speculation than fact. I don't know. I have no idea. Mike Leslie, hopefully the crowd can be the 12th man today and play their part. Big push for today. Obviously, if you're going to the game today, please have a safe journey there. I've said it so many times on the show, but the Aberdeen fans at the moment are just unbelievable. They're just fantastic. And, I think played a huge, huge role in getting us across the line against Dundee United. And I think if there's not too many busybodies today, which is becoming a bit of an issue for me personally about the Red Shed, just let them have fun. Just let them enjoy themselves within the parameters of safety and within the parameters of not causing any damage. Let them have fun. Because I honestly believe that in the Red Shed, it's helping create fantastic atmosphere, which I think filters to the rest of the stadium. And I think the atmosphere at Pittodrie can be absolutely brilliant if people just relax. Okay, sorry. This is just a bit of a... Get that off my chest. Kaiser said, we also, when I mentioned about a manager coming and not being afraid of Celtic and Rangers, we also need players that's not worried about that lot as well. 100% Kaiser. Ewan Grant has said, wee grenade from Eric there with the Bay City Rollers. Honestly, I'm devastated. Gordon Downey has said, I used to deliver Eric Black's newspapers. No way. Brilliant. Eric Black had a flat in Bankhead with Brian Gunn. Yeah, he did. Jamie Ross has said, completely agree about the Red Shed. Thank you, mate. Maud Rossi, Aberdeen is a strong team. Yes, Maud. Hi, good morning to you. Michael Findlay, not just at the moment, Ali, the Dons fans have always been fantastic. Yes, Michael. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but you're absolutely correct, mate. You're absolutely correct. Forgive me. I didn't mean it like that. David Gall said, love the atmosphere created by the Red Shed. Kaiser has said, the job's worth and the Red Shed are starting to spoil it for everybody. Right, guys, that's it. We are all done. Thank you. We've done nearly 40 minutes there. That's absolutely brilliant. Bit of an extended show today. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to press the old like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Join as well, if you wish. Just helps me build here. I want to try and build a bigger studio. Give it more depth. Do more stuff. That would also help as well. So if you're going to the game, safe travels. Let's just, oh, what a game today. Honestly, I've got a really good feeling about it. By the way, sorry, just before I go, if you're kicking about today, why not join us on the big Saturday football show on North Sound 1 between 2 and 6? Stephen Mill, Ewan Cameron, Stevie Cowan and myself. So what I do is basically sit here in my studio on the German-Austrian border, watch the game live on Red TV, and then I report back as live. So you get instant updates. If anything happens, it's instant reaction. And it's a great show. It's a mixture of music, games, laughter, banter, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's what makes us quite unique. And I think it's the perfect mixture of what makes a really popular radio football show. So if you fancy it, come and join us on North Sound 1 later. And I'll see you again tomorrow night for the review show at 7 o'clock. So all that's left to say is, come on, lads. You can do this. As Barry said, just believe in yourselves. Oh, come on. See you later. Bye for now.